And welcome back, everybody. We hope you enjoyed those lovely, beautiful ads. That Wildcat was amazing. Uh, not as good as Rufus, but amazing nonetheless. We're here with another World Team League series.
And if we have any animation pros that can make Rufus do a really kind of cringe smile at the camera, I'm down for that.
Let's go. As we're getting ready here
Ooh.
for our second series of the night, DPG is out here with, we're just showcasing their players here as, oh my god, Hero, is F9, is he a player on their roster? What?
Yeah, I think there's a manager, but
Yeah.
has Jieshi always been on DPG?
That was a recent pickup, I think a couple of months ago.
Yeah, okay, nice. So it looks like we do have the two ace players. They always get the races wrong for the screen. I don't know why.
Maybe it's like versus Terran and versus Zerg or something. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Maybe it's their best matchup.
Yeah, maybe.
But anyway, we do have the matchups here for you. We'll be starting things off with a PvP. It will be MacSed versus Jieshi, a bit of a Chinese region showdown, and then meanwhile Coffee and Dark. And did you catch a glimpse of that last match?
Oh yeah, it's Cure versus XY.
Ooh.
Oh. Just for you, Papi.
It's a bit of a rough matchup for XY, but we have seen a few upsets tonight already, so who knows?
Definitely. We will end things off with a TVT, but here we are looking at our graphs and Jieshi, a relatively recent addition here to DPG, showing off his, his defense, his offense, not as much defense, unfortunately. Apparently.
Just offense.
Yeah.
We are seeing the offensive player versus the defensive player, so looks like a bit of a prediction coming out from the makers of these hexagons that Jieshi is going to be the aggressor in this PvP, but we do have Waterfall as the first map, and honestly, I can't say that I've seen a whole lot of PvPs on Waterfall.
Yeah, I haven't seen too many on this map either. In general, a lot of players do avoid this, but yeah, it's possible that this could even favor Jieshi with his play, as we can get into a little bit of DreamHack later on. Sporting in the bottom left-hand corner, we have representing Team Invictus Gaming, IG. It's MacSed.
And here in the top right-hand corner of the map, playing for DPG, it is Jieshi. They don't really give you much time to get that in.
They don't. They really. You gotta be quick, Papi. You gotta be quick. Oh my god. And you know what else they need? Kuro, can we set this up next time? Can we add our own fanfare? Can we? Like Asher and I, we won't be able to hear it, but the stream will be able to hear the trumpets. If you can sort that out next week,
We do that.
that'd be amazing.
Sporting in the top right, DPG, it is Jieshi.
Yeah, let's go.
We can get it all in the swoop.
That's what I'm looking forward to. As we're getting into this PvP here, I also wanted to divert our attention a little bit, to the DreamHack Atlanta regionals that just did go by. And if I'm not mistaken, we had quite a number of PvPs in that China region.
Yeah, definitely. That is a region where I think all 8 of the qualified players for the main event were Terran or Protoss. So we did see players like Firefly, like Jieshi, like MacSed as well. Jieshi actually making quite a deep run in that event.
Yeah, Jieshi did make it all the way to the playoff bracket, and he did so after taking down MacSed 2-0 and 2-1 in the group stage.
Yeah, he has been doing very well, especially in the PvT matchup, but we are going to be getting a little bit of a look at his PvP prowess as we see both players going for a bit of a gate expand, and looks like they did get their nexuses down at reasonably similar times. No, it does look like they're very similarly timed.
Yeah, we do have our gate expands. Neither player was able to really force any kind of major delays on their natural bases. But again, like Max said, like looking at their recent history here, Max said is gonna have to try and cause a bit of an upset. He's had a bit of had a harder time here against Jieshi in recent times, but hopefully here in the World Team League in this best of 2, he can fight back. So far, nothing too crazy. We do see that at least Max said is opening up with that sentry.
Yeah, MacSed actually isn't researching Warp Gate.
Oh.
That's something a little bit interesting. I Honestly, I got to be straight up. I don't know enough about PvP to tell you exactly what's going on there. My guess would it be that he's saving up a little bit of extra gas for maybe something like a DT or like a Stargate. And it does allow him to get these earlier sentries as well. But it looks like, yeah, the warp gate only just being started up now for MacSed.
Yeah, part of me wants to think that maybe it was a bit of a mind game there to throw off that scouting probe, but another part of me feels like maybe it was just a bit of a misstep there, maybe a little bit of a mistake, because there isn't really too much of a rhyme or reason to delay a warp gate as much as this. We do see that he is going for a robo follow-up here, but likewise, so is Jieshi.
Yeah, interestingly, MacSed as well opting for the full wall off at the front there. So he will eventually, if he wants to break out, need to be making a warp prism or taking out one of those buildings. And both players can be playing very safe with the robo. So often with these gate first openers, we do see Stargate as the tech of choice, as those Void Rays do offer a lot of defensive options. Against something like a 4-gate, which is often a response to these gate expands. But we are seeing both players going for Robo.
Yeah, both players are going for that robo opener, but we do see a divergence here. MacSed being that offensive player, shout out to the admins who did kind of create that hexagon, recognizing that MacSed would go for Immortals. Meanwhile, Jieshi going for a Prism instead to move out across the map.
Yeah, that's right. Jieshi going to be sending that prism straight across the map with just one adept in there. But meanwhile, behind that, going for the Twilight Council, going for the Forge, is going to be looking into a little bit more of a macro game. Meanwhile, for MacSed, he is a little bit, I was going to say a little bit behind on the armor supply, but it looks like both players neck and neck in that regard. So really hasn't been set back too much by going for that later warp gate.
Exactly. I also love that, because we do have a full wall off, MacSed is going to be relatively safe at the natural, and he could cut some corners. He does have 2 pylons though in the main base, completely providing so much vision, and already MacSed moves in position and does force this prism back.
Yeah, good reactions there from MacSed. He's going to be able to push this prism back, sending out that sentry hallucination as well. Is just going to be able to keep an eye on this prism. Meanwhile, Jieshi just trying to be a nuisance with these adepts. Is going to be shading them into the natural of MacSed and picking away at these probes.
Yeah, exactly. So despite the full wall off, it looks like probes are going to be going down here for MacSed. 3 probes already. 4, and can we get 5? Up. Oof.
Yeah, just a very slight miscontrol there coming out from MacSed, but wasn't punished too hard for it, and we'll be able to clean up the last of these adepts.
Yeah, the adepts all do go down. What's important as well is that Jieshi was able to scout those 2 immortals, so he's fully aware of the power here of the potential counterattack from MacSed, so he's going to be preparing himself. Meanwhile, MacSed, this is weird for a multitude of reasons. We have seen glaive adepts before, but these are going to be +1 glaive adepts.
Yeah, +1 glaive adepts in the PvP, throwing down a lot more gateways as well. Looks like he's going to be looking to hit a very strong glaive +1 timing, and this is definitely something a little bit offbeat coming out from MacSed here.
Yeah, I don't know how efficient it is to get +1 with glaives. There's a reason why we don't see it too often. There's not a lot of longevity there, but I love it because Jieshi got a full scouter for the main base. He saw both the Twilight Council and the Forge researching, so it should either be Charge or Stalkers, and because the gases have been taken, it should be Stalkers. He would be none the wiser to assume that there would be glaive adepts.
Yeah, and for MacSed, we do see him going for, for Jieshi, we do see him going for a bit of a Blink Disruptor composition here, so quite a clash of styles between the 2 players.
Yeah, I mean, this is actually a really fast robotics bay. Off of 2 bases going straight into disruptors is not something you see too often at all. Meanwhile, the mass amount of adepts have been scouted by Jieshi. I wonder if he put 2 and 2 together here, because really there's no reason to have this amount of adepts at this stage of the game.
Yeah, I have to wonder as well if MacSed might be going for a bit of a play where he's looking to shade adepts into the main and ferry in those immortals, and then use the force fields on the sentries to actually block Jieshi out from his own main, because he hasn't really been sending out hallucinations. He's actually been building up the energy on these sentries.
Yeah, that's something that's been a little bit surprising here. He's been a little bit in the dark as a result. Meanwhile, these adepts are going ham, by the way. Without glaives, 8 probes are going to go down, and the prism is still there outside the natural base of MacSed. At the same time, though, MacSed is warping in a massive wave of adepts. Oh my god, but the Nova goes off! Ah!
Oh, wow. Just
Ah!
Iron nerves coming out from MacSed, but that second one is going to hit big, and with those force fields coming down as well, Jieshi has really taken the head of the snake off with this one.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Sometimes you only, or there were two, but you only need one. You only need one Nova to connect, and just like that, a lot of the sting has been taken away from this push. MacSed forced to turn around.
Yeah, huge disruptor shot there. MacSed with those nerves of steel running straight into the disruptors, but that doesn't work the second time, and he is really up against the wall now.
Yeah, exactly. He's forced warping. He's forced to commit to this engagement, but another Nova's going to go up. Again, connecting with that Gateway army. Will lose the Disruptor as a result. But again, like these are just two efficient trades here from the side of Jieshi.
Yeah, the splits weren't quite there for MacSed. Jieshi getting some huge shots with these disruptors, and I really like this choice to go for the early disruptors here, just to deal with the shenanigans coming out from MacSed, and MacSed really running out of steam here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he isn't out of this yet. He does have a prism, and it is going into the main base here of Jieshi. But at the same time, like there's so much riding on the line, on the shoulders of this prism. We have a warp in back at home. We have a couple of these stalkers, and these adepts that won't be able to overpower the units, but they do go for the mineral line. They go for the probes.
Yeah, they're just going to be running straight into these mineral lines. Quite surprisingly tanky against the stalkers. Even trade pretty well with the stalkers, but he really does have to get some economic damage here.
Yeah, and economic damage, he does get 10 workers go down, but Jieshi is still ahead by basically 10 more workers. It's crazy how far ahead he is economically. He has his third base up and running. MacSed he's down in base, he's down in workers, he's down in tech, he's trying to catch up. He's actually trying to transition and going to blink, but he needs time to do so. He needs to somehow get some breathing room.
Yeah, this is a bit of a curious choice, I have to be honest. Not going for the third base, but still transitioning into the blink and the +2. He will have a little bit of a timing, but I believe by the time that he has that timing, this economy of Jieshi is really going to be kicking in already. And Jieshi is actually going to be pushing straight in with these disruptors right now. And this is going to be very difficult for MacSed to deal with.
Exactly, especially because he just doesn't really have a mobile army. He doesn't have blink. He can't avoid these novas. That's why these purification novas have been getting so much value. It's so difficult to try to avoid it.
Yeah, there's a depth set very awkward to maneuver. Even the Immortals and the Sentries can both be very annoying to maneuver. And we do see once again one of the Sentries being going down to the Nova, getting good damage on that Immortal as well. But both of the Disruptors are going to be going down for Jieshi.
Yeah, a little bit of lack of control there. Only one Nova connects with the army, but despite that, there's still so much. A third Nova is going to go off, does connect with the Gateway units, does connect with the Immortal. We have a blink going forward. GG gets called, and Jieshi takes the first game for DPG.
Yeah, GG. Very nice game there coming out from Jieshi, using those disruptors just to repel the attack of MacSed. And that was quite an interesting idea that came out from MacSed, but we really didn't get to see what he had in mind, as all of those adepts went down before they could even get in there.
Yeah, exactly. The Disruptors completely countered this style against any other unit. You know, even Charge, you can have a little bit of an easier time splitting and avoiding Novas. Blink and Stalkers, of course, have an easy time against it, but Adepts, not so much.
Yeah, and MacSed going for the Chad move, just running straight at that Disruptor, trying to fire down at it. But when you have that ramp, it's a bit more difficult to get that done.
It really is. So really nice tech choice there from Jieshi, being able to take that first game. But at the same time, that was also a really weird game. You know, I don't know if we can really gain too much from watching that. You know, +1 Glaive Adepts, like, no one does it. It's crazy. And I don't think we're going to see it again in game 2.
Yeah, I mean, interestingly, we kind of saw MacSed being the aggressor there and Jieshi being the defender in general. Maybe we'll have to shuffle these around a little bit, because Jieshi showing that he is quite strong in the defense. But we are going to be seeing a very different map for our second game. We're seeing Cosmic Sapphire here, and I do think we're more likely to see maybe some Stargate openers here.
Definitely, because it's a larger map. You know, we don't have to go into these stock standard Blink Stalker versus Blink Stalker PvPs. We can have a little bit of a divergence as well. We'll see if any one of these players has the tenacity to even try and go for a gate expand on Cosmic Sapphire. It seems to be more stylistic, and you have to be really confident in your play. But yeah, is anyone crazy enough to do that? I'm looking at you, Max.
Cojones to go for.
Does he have that cajon? We know that Jieshi has the balls. We know he has them, but does MacSed have them?
The disruptables, of course.
That's- what? Yeah. That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
That's what I meant. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I don't know. Where do we go from here?
Shout out to TGI Fridays.
As here, spawning in the top left-hand corner of the map for Invictus Gaming, this is MacSed.
And in the bottom right, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG, it is Jieshi.
No cojones. Both players going for the high ground pylon. We are most likely going to be seeing a 2-gate expand from both players.
Yeah. Also, I apologize, but Kura was correcting me that apparently she has been playing the fanfares this entire time. Look, I'm not listening to the stream, okay? I can't hear it. I don't see it.
You just assumed, you monster.
It's true, Buffy, true. Oh, God. So I apologize, but at least the chat can hear the lovely trumpets, the lovely fanfares. Feels good, man. Feels good.
Yeah, meanwhile, we do see the two probes passing in the middle of the map, giving each other a little bit of a Kims. And we do have the 2 gates starting up from both players. And that means, what does it mean, Light?
Oh, that means we get to play our favorite game. What's the name of that game, by the way?
The 2 units from the 2 gateways game.
What's it gonna be?
Which 2 units will it be? Which 2 units will it be? Hey, we've got some time. The cycle is going to finish. We're going to be seeing those second pylons come up. We're going to be seeing the pylons playing, the probes playing tag in the main.
Yeah,
okay.
they are.
We've got time.
They got time. But okay. So MacSed, I'm gonna think a double stalker opener. Go.
A depth stalker.
Depth stalker. Oh, and here we are.
Both wrong.
We're both wrong. I was thinking sentry opener, but at the same time,
sure you were.
I was, but then I remembered that last game you were pointing out that like even though we did have sentries from MacSed, he wasn't really going for hallucinated scouts too often. So I was like, is he really gonna Haluk scout this game? Oh, apparently he is.
Yes, it was not a Haluk. It was in fact a real Haluk.
Yeah, there we go. It is real, mate. As we do have a double adept opener coming up from Jieshi. He's going to be moving out across. Remember, it's going to be on MacSed to try and scout this and get eyes on this. He does at least have his probe outside the natural, and he should be able to spot those 2 units as they come out.
Yeah, both players just going to try to keep an eye on their others' initial units. We are seeing 4 adepts in total from Jieshi going to be starting this one off. And meanwhile, on the side of MacSed, opting to delay that Nexus a little bit, is going to be going into a slightly faster Stargate.
Oh, okay. I see. So this will be spotted by Jieshi as he moves out across the map. He will be able to get eyes on the timing of that Nexus and recognize that it is going to be a little bit late here. The Shades try to go into the main base, and it looks like they are denied. And
yeah, nice reactions there from MacSed. Does have that probe in position and will be sending those units back. Meanwhile, just using that sentry to get a little bit of a scout, but I think he's being a little bit deceiving here, actually not going for a 3 sentry opening, but just sending the 1 sentry, and we'll be coming in with that Stargate a little bit later.
Yeah, and that hallucinated scout was pretty important because he was able to confirm the adept count. It does see not just 2, not just 4, but 6 adepts here at the natural. 8 adepts even. Oh my god. That's a lot of adepts. And MacSed's fully aware he should be ready and waiting to throw down a wall. Not even a pylon wall, but even... Does he have enough room? I think he may have enough room for a gateway or a cyber core just to make sure that wall is a little bit more solid.
Yeah, pretty interesting opening from Jieshi. Maybe abusing the fact that MacSed does like to set up his wall here like this, because these 8 adepts, they will be able to chunk through that pylon pretty quickly, but this Oracle is going to be very useful defensively here.
Yeah, it really will. Meanwhile, there was not enough room for a gateway or a cyber core. It looks like that pylon is going to go down. The Oracle is forced to utilize this energy here at home. Meanwhile, we have oh my god, a force field as well to block them out.
Yeah, beautiful force field there. Even using the Stalkers at the bottom of the ramp just to interrupt the pathing a little bit of the Adepts. But the Adepts, they are going to be getting in here, and they are going to start to take down these probes.
Yeah, exactly. 2, 3 probes already going down here, but only 3 probes For 8 adepts, not quite worth
Mm.
it, to be honest. I mean, you could argue that at least they did also force the oracles to spend their energy at home.
Yeah, they did force a bit of that energy out and does get eyes on the oracles as well because MacSed was going for a little bit of a sneaky opening here, so he will know that is on the way. That does give him a little bit more of a chance to start chronoing out this blink, getting up his shield batteries as well. But here we are, the two oracles of MacSed are going to be arriving here in the main of Jieshi.
Yeah, exactly. They need a little bit of time to gather that energy, though. Again, they did use a lot of it defensively. Meanwhile, we have 2 more adepts trying to sneak on in. MacSed is on top of this, though. He does wall off at his natural. And it looks like MacSed is going for his own counter harassment.
Yeah, a little bit of an adept attack of his own, and Jieshi not anywhere near as prepared as MacSed was. Already 5 probes going down, and those oracles are going to be going ham in the main.
Oh, exactly. We do have barely the wall off finishing up here for Jieshi. Does deny entry into his own main base. The Oracle's also going ham, but again, don't have too much energy. They can't get too much damage. So far, 5 probes going down, and MacSed takes a worker lead.
Yeah, very nice harass there coming out from MacSed. Is going to be denying a lot of mining here. And here we go. Those oracles going to be coming in now. Going to be one-shotting these probes underneath the battery. Some very nice oracle control there, taking down 5 more probes.
Oh, yeah, and both oracles, they are still alive as well. Going to be able to regen those shields to dive back in. At the same time, 2 more depths slipping into the main base of MacSed, but it looks like he was able to deal with that as well. MacSed, his defense, mate, looking 10 out of 10 right now.
Yeah, absolutely up to scratch on the defense. Has done a very good job just deflecting these adept attacks of Jieshi. Finds himself with a nice lead here. A little bit of a supply block, but yeah, nice move there with the adepts blocking the shades with the shades.
Exactly, very nice. He's not being he's being as efficient as possible, not kind of keeping a probe there to throw down any kind of pylons. He has been responding with his own shades, but now the adepts are out. He's trying to chase them down, but Jieshi will commit to the shade into the natural.
Yeah, that's right. Where that Sentry and the Stalkers are awaiting him, that shield battery as well, just forcing him to sync up those shots in the micro. Not quite there, so MacSed doing such a fantastic job. He's going to be looking to possibly get a third on the way now as well.
There we go. Third base is going to be thrown down. As all this has been happening, though, Jieshi has been building up that immortal count. He did go for a faster robo overall. We can see that the worker counts have evened up here. Oh, as MacSed tries to dip in once again with these oracles, but doesn't manage to get into that mineral line.
Yeah, that's right. So we are seeing MacSed with a little bit of a lead in terms of some of this tech, but at the same time, Jieshi, he has just been kind of powering along despite not taking as good trades here. And MacSed, he's going to be finishing this shade, getting straight into the main, trying to take down some of these probes here.
Oh my god, so many probes have already gone down this game here for Jieshi, and even more are going to fall as 3 more probes get picked off. At the same time, both oracles dive into the natural.
Wow, yeah, a defenseless mineral line there, but with the blink finishing up, Jieshi is able to take out one of these pesky oracles, and that does mean they do lose their one-shot potential under the shield battery.
Oh, they do, and now we are triggering a counterattack here. We're finally going to make use of these immortals. Thankfully for MacSed, he did manage to tag that army with a revelation, so he knows that it is going to be coming across the map. He is preparing himself. He's throwing down more shield batteries, more pylons as well.
There's a lot going down, but this is a pretty formidable force coming out from Jieshi. He does have 2 immortals as well, and those immortals, if they can get on top of the stalkers, they are really going to start chunking them down. It is so important for for MacSed, that he gets up into a stalker count that can start one-shotting or two-shotting these immortals.
Definitely. But Jieshi, with that observer, he has eyes on that defensive position, and he doesn't want it. He doesn't want to try and force himself into all those shield batteries, into all those pylons, into an overcharge as well. So he's deterred. He doesn't commit.
Yeah, and behind this, he does have a bit of a transition, so he will just be sharking back and forth with this army, trying to be such a nuisance. Hopefully, if he can take out this Oracle, that'd be very big for him with the DTs on the way.
Oh, exactly. You know what? MacSed's out of position. It looks like he is able to rotate back around here. The Oracle goes down, but Jieshi doesn't break the third.
Yeah, and I just noticed as well, Jieshi, he does have an observer set up at that third, so he has to be aware that for MacSed, he doesn't really have observers of his own, or that would have been taken out, but MacSed seems like he senses something's up, realizes that he doesn't have that detection with the Oracle going down, and he will be making some defensive cannons. This is really nice for him, kind of preempting the DTs before he even sees them.
Yeah, like he knows that he's ahead right now, and he knows that like how can I fall behind? What is a way for Jieshi to really sneak one out on me? And that is going to be those DTs. As we say that DTs are looking to find their way into the main base. Two cannons got thrown down. I don't know if there's a cannon in the main.
Yeah, true. So there might be a little bit of an opening there, but I like how MacSed has his units positioned here. He's been very strong defensively in these past throughout this game so far. We do see that robo being started up as well, and we do see quite an upgrade lead. Got that +2 already on the way. Templar Archives on the way as well, so he will be looking a little bit further down the line into more of the charge lot Archon composition.
Oh, exactly. As both armies kind of face off here in the middle of the map, forcing Jieshi back. Meanwhile, at the same time, DT drop into the main base. Do we have that cannon? We do not.
Yeah, no cannon there. Nice quick warp in, but there is no detection to speak of in this main base. And meanwhile, Jieshi, syncing up his attacks, will be attacking the third at the same time. Looks like this Nexus might be going down here.
Wow, interesting choice. It does have a lot of HP, but the Nexus is going to go down, and any tech as well. There is still no cannon, by the way. The Robo just finished up for MacSed.
Wow, these DTs are absolutely wreaking havoc. If they can take out this Templar Archives as well, that will really set the tech, reset the tech advantage that MacSed has.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like finally the DTs get cleaned up, but not before the Templar Archives go down. So great, kind of a great comeback move here from Jieshi. He's still trying to recover though when it comes to that upgrade disadvantage, and he is down 2-1 when it comes to +1 attack, or when it comes to those attack upgrades. But look at that economy. Oh my god, look how many probes he's working with.
Yeah, Jieshi really powering with that economy, and we see him going from one comeback mechanic to another. He's going to be getting these disruptors as well, and if he is sensing that he's a bit ahead on the economy, I really like this choice to start pumping out these disruptors, as this will really help him defensively.
Yeah, they really will be able to make up for that upgrade disparity here. Meanwhile, a lovely observer is pointing out that a Nexus can't even be thrown down because a pylon was thrown down instead. It actually doesn't allow there to be any room there for that Nexus, for that base to be taken. At the same time, Max said he's coming on in.
Yeah, MacSed really going for it here, but with that shield battery overcharge, with the cannon, with the Immortals in the back, it's going to be very hard for these Stalkers to make headway here. We do see the charge rollers starting to take down a few of these probes, but MacSed is going to have to back off here.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I mean, the overcharge does run out. He's going to be able to chip away a little bit at that mineral line, but the disruptors come out, and he has to be careful not to overcommit. Oh, he blinks forward!
Oh, big blink forward there, and he doesn't manage to get the disruptor before it can go off, but these Zealots, they are getting on top of the Stalkers here.
Yeah, they're getting on top of the Stalkers. Zealots are ideal here against this kind of army, but the Zealots are running out, and without those Zealots, what is there to really buffer for the Stalkers of MacSed?
Yeah, that's right. MacSed really all in with this attack, with the DT still back at his base, wreaking havoc. We're seeing a lot of probes going down here, so he really does just have to fully commit to this attack, and looks like Jieshi, he is standing strong here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, MacSed was able to make up for a lot of his disadvantages, but it wasn't going to be enough. GG gets called, and Jieshi takes the 2-0.
Very nicely done there from Jieshi, getting that smooth 2-0, and that will be DPG coming into this one with a nice little advantage here with some absolute behemoths waiting in the wings here in the form of Dark and Cure.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, again, a really strong pickup here for Jieshi. He has been performing really well in DreamHack China. He actually got 3rd place in this most recent Atlanta season, and that's the highest he's ever gotten before. So he's really establishing and solidifying himself as the best Protoss in China.
Yeah, and in this lineup as well, you have to say pretty much anyone could be the weakest player in the lineup of Dark and Cure, but Jieshi showing that he is absolutely not dead weight, getting that 2-0 there, really doing a solid one there for his team, and it's going to take a lot of pressure off the ace players of DPG.
Oh yeah, to be fair, I don't know how much pressure they really have on them. They're both world-class players here. Dark, arguably the best Zerg player in all of Korea right now. Cure, one of the best Terrans in Korea as well. But we have seen upsets happen before. I mean, just recently, you know, Shopify Rebellion versus Team GP. The underdogs were able to fight back hard, and the same could be said here for Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And we have seen that Coffee has been in some really nice form as of late as well. We saw a pretty good performance coming out from him in the Chinese DreamHack, and we also saw that he has been performing very well for Invictus Gaming.
Oh yeah, exactly. Coffee recently getting second place in DreamHack China, so at least like when it comes to his versus Protoss and versus Terran, he is in form. But
Mhm.
bearing in mind when it comes to the Chinese region, there aren't a lot of Zerg players, so we don't get to see his TVZ too often. So I'm a little bit excited. Coffee kind of known for sometimes weird unorthodox play or builds. I wonder what he has ready here for Dark, because I'm sure he prepared.
Yeah, Coffee has some really creative builds, especially in the TVT. So I would expect that in TVT, especially coming up against such a strong player, he's going to have something a little bit cheeky. And this has been a meta, especially in TVZ, where we've been seeing a lot of cheeky builds coming out from the Terran. We've been seeing two base all-ins, we've been seeing two port BCs, we've been seeing all sorts of stuff.
It's disgusting. It's Terran, they can do whatever they want, they can two port, three port, four port BC, we can see quad Thor drops, they can do whatever they want for free, but
Yeah.
but here we go, we're getting into our players here, and already apparently a man with 8 micro, 7 strategy, 7. Come on.
I mean, he plays Terran. What can you do?
You're like, mate, there's a cap on Terran, mate. There's a cap, you
Yeah.
can't exceed a certain amount.
Oof.
Meanwhile, here comes the Zerg. Of course, mate, we should see 10s all around.
Mate, what do you have to do to get a 10?
True. I mean, he's not Sarah.
I'll start a few arguments with that. Meanwhile, we do see the hexagon of Dark really dwarfing that of Coffee, so looks like the producer's definitely looking to him as a strong favorite coming into this one. And we do see the first map is going to be Tropical Sacrifice. That can be a very difficult map for the Terran if the game does drag on a little. But in terms of the earlier game, there are some pretty nasty tank spots that you can get set up alongside the ledges below these ramps leading into the 3rd and 4th bases.
Oh yeah, there are definitely places that can be abused here, can be used to the advantage of the Terran player. But I also want to kind of show off a little bit here that I believe Dark is the first A player, or the A tier player, that we've been able to show off today.
Yeah, the first A player that we've seen so far in this day of games. So we will be looking to see what it is that sets him apart. I think Beyond should be an A player as well, to be honest.
I agree. I 100%, mate. You brought it up when he got shown off, and maybe it's because he's Terran. But spawning in top right, representing Invictus Gaming, it's Coffee.
And spawning in the bottom left hand, it is our A-class player. It is for DPG, Dark.
Boy, here we go. Dark, despite, of course, being one of the best in the world, he's also, very stylistic. He's got his own way to play here. For a long time, he was, even relying a lot more on roach openers in this matchup to get into lurker play. This was, of course, around the start of the year here. But yeah, he's not normal.
Yeah, absolutely. Dark is a very creative, stylistic player. We have seen him I would say maybe not necessarily setting meta in terms of his strategies and builds, but he does set the meta tactically. So there are a lot of tactics that we see him find, things like neuraling a ghost to EMP the other ghosts. He does find these nice little tricks that we see a lot of other players then imitating.
Oh yeah, exactly. Tricks that players kind of incorporate into the meta, into that more standard play. So, in a way, you could argue that Dark is a bit of an innovator when it comes to his matchup, when it comes to his race. So we'll see how he can innovate here in his first matchup against Coffee in this TVZ. So far, nothing too crazy. Hatch, gas, pull from Dark.
Yeah, I have to say as well, one thing that does really excite me about this World Team League format for players like Dark is not one to pull his punches. He's not one to say that, like, oh, I am the stronger player. I'm just going to sit back. I'm going to defend. I'm going to take whatever you can throw at me. Dark is someone who will pull out these crazy snipe builds to just kill his opponent outright. I'm thinking things like maybe a low drone count Nidus Queen Roach attack, something like that. He really does have the killer instinct. And it's something that we see in these weekly tournaments as well, where he will really go for the throat, even against maybe less favored players against him.
Yeah, he does not hold back. This, regardless of who he's playing. You could give him like, I don't know, give him a Maru or give him like a bronze Terran player. He will not hold back. He is ruthless, mate. And we'll see how that plays out here as ooh, Coffee going for a very fast. I was like eBay. He's going for an eBay block at the third.
Yeah, very interesting. I'm very curious about this one because we don't actually often see. Oh yeah, doesn't quite get the block there on the gas, but I don't actually that often see Zergs going for that third, but it does look like Dark is going to be able to get that linear third. Does have the second drone out there ready to take that.
Oh, he actually takes the triangular third. It looks like he a cancel was forced there on that eBay. Dark was able to fake Coffee out, and he took it.
Yeah, so he does get his favored base there. I have to wonder with him going for the closer base if he maybe has some kind of roach play in mind or if this is just what he's more comfortable with. Meanwhile, we are going to be seeing that Reaper of Coffee dipping into the main, just making sure that nothing too crazy is going on. Just going to get a quick check for any roach warren, anything like that. And looks like everything was normal, but now a roach and a gas going down.
Yeah, exactly. It does. I mean, it doesn't make sense that now that third base was taken. Also, you're talking about is Dark just doing this to be more comfortable? Well, I mean, Dark is the most comfortable going for roaches. So here we go. Roach Warren is coming out. Unfortunately, Coffee wasn't able to scout it. He wasn't able to get eyes on it yet, but the Reaper is still alive. He still has a way into the main.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were referring to it before. Dark not one at all to just sit back on that Ling Bane and just feel like the stronger player, feel like he doesn't have to really get anything crazy aggressive done. He is going to be going for a really aggressive opening here, already making 5 roaches, and he's going to be looking to bypass these Hellion Reaper and get those across the map without being detected. Actually starting up another 5, going to 10 roaches here. Very aggressive coming out from Dark.
That's a lot of roaches, Puppy. We'll see if he floods Lings behind this as well. We'll see if he even thinks about droning, as we have a lair behind this, to be fair. Meanwhile, from the side of Coffee, he did go for a 3cc opening. It was before that star port. From there, he is going into Banshees, and the Banshees are going to be on the way, but are they going to be out in time here as the roaches have finally been scouted?
Yeah, 3cc Banshee, just a very generally safe economic play. The Banshees are going to be able to help a lot with these roaches once they do come out. Nice grenade there as well is just going to cut off that roach from its brothers there. And Dark, seeing that Banshee, it's just going to turn back. He doesn't feel like he needs to get all this damage done straight away. Doesn't want to throw these roaches away for nothing.
Oh, but very nice control there. Despite recognizing that he was going to lose those roaches, he does play with those side blockers. He plays with that tall grass, and he picks off 2 Hellions with a handful of roaches.
Yeah, but at the same time, Coffee really does nip this in the bud. He is going to be getting quite a nice opening here. And yeah, we were referring to Dark not really pulling his punches against some of the weaker players. And this is something that might be the reason why other players, choose to play the more defensive sit-back style, because you can get yourself into these awkward positions.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And now because of that, Dark isn't in the best economic position. He's, his drones at his third base are honestly pretty delayed. His upgrades are delayed as well. We have double Evo chambers being thrown down now, but we are going to have a massive window here where Coffee is going to have that upgrade advantage. At the same time, Hellions dip on in. Banshees come out across the map. Detection a little bit late here, a little bit slow, and 1 queen falls.
Yeah, we do see Coffee targeting down that high energy queen, so no transfuse is going to be available there, and pretty nice micro coming out from Coffee. He's going to get a second queen here. But no, the transfuse coming from the low ground there. Very nicely done by Dark.
Very clutch transfuse at the same time. Very clutch micro there from Coffee, keeping both Banshees alive. Is going to be able to turn around, go back home, and regen that HP or get a bit of a repair. If I say that, maybe I spoke too soon. Okay, wants to make a little bit more use of them, is able to clear up some creep timbers.
Wow, and look at Dark with that roach movement, actually sandwiching those Hellions. He really does get every last bit out of his units, so very nice movement there as Coffee starts to establish this third base.
Yeah, third base is going to be on the way, but behind this Dark, I have to commend something that I didn't even notice, but he was just hammering away at that D-Key, Puppy. 82 drones already. He is looking comfortable here to just invest and continue to invest in these roaches as he gets +1 range.
Mate, this is why we're doing the 2 base all-ins. This is why we're doing the 2-port BC, because you play a standard, you play that 3cc Banshee. If you don't get a lot of pressure going on there, the Zerg player, they feel so comfortable to just drone up to these high drone counts. We are seeing Dark throwing down a little bit of extra tech, so that will knock back that count a little bit, but with that +1 range and +1 armor coming in, he's going to have a nice timing with roaches later on.
Oh, he really will. We do see that he isn't just going to commit on pure Roach Ravager. We do have a Baneling Nest on the way behind this infestation bit as well, so we can get into that hive, so we can potentially transition into something like Lurkers and actually make use of that +1 range or of those range upgrades. At the same time, though, Coffee is not taking this lying down. He was able to go back home, repair these Banshees, and now he's back.
Yeah, great job by Coffee just to repair those Banshees up. Looking to get a little bit of damage on those Ravagers as well, but not able to take any of those down. And we do see he'll be starting up his +2 and throwing down 3 more Raxes as well. So Coffee looking to be very aggressive here.
Yeah, I believe 8 Raxes in total here for Coffee. Wants to ramp up that aggression. I do appreciate as well that he has been very conservative with his movement of his army. Sure, he's been poking and prodding with his Marines, but he hasn't committed with them. He has been able to keep them alive for that follow-up timing.
Yeah, so he will just be stopping on this 65 SCV count. No more SCVs here. No fourth in sight just yet. He's just going to be pumping these units on this ARAX, going for the extra Marauders as the extra Tech Labs as well. So he will be looking to get Marauders actually, which will help a lot with these Roaches. But this does mean that he is on a little bit of a timer. This is an all-in player.
Yeah, and I have to wonder how this is going to work here against a heavy Lingbane Roach Ravager army, especially with those Ravagers. They really do throw a wrench in the work here, can slow things down. If the bios connect, not even just with the tanks, but even with the bio, that can just stifle this push.
Yeah, that's right. I wonder if Coffee got a little bit of a misread here, or he's just looking to hit a very strong 2-2 timing, realizing that he is a little bit behind and he will be disadvantaged in a longer macro game. But I have to wonder, with 2-2 still a little ways off, if this gives Dark enough time for his economy to really kick in. And he does have Adrenal on the way already.
Yeah, like the hive is done, you know, he has Adrenal, he can work in towards 3-3 as soon as his upgrades finish up as well. We do see Coffee pushing out. At the same time, Dark dives on top of some of this army, forces the siege.
He's on siege. He's
on siege, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, Dark just forcing that siege out on the map, buying as much time for himself as he can. He's going to really slow down this push for Coffee, and this is a very awkward angle for Coffee to push into with this creep all the way out here, but looks like Dark is happy to take the fight now, and those are some pretty good trades for Coffee.
Yeah, exactly. The Bile actually misplaced. One tank barely survives on 1 HP. Meanwhile, the Banelings were running up, but we still have a couple more here, so Coffee can't really dive onto creep, not yet.
Yeah, and with that little volley coming out from the Ravagers, that tank count is completely reset. Just take a lot of the staying power out from Coffee. It does mean that it's going to be that much harder to deal with these Banelings.
Yeah, exactly. Thankfully, the creep is receding, and Coffee's going to be able to establish himself here with his reinforcing tanks, but we do see a bit of a surround coming in from Dark. He gets on top of the tank once again. He does get on top of that army.
Yeah, Dark is not giving Coffee a moment to breathe. He smells blood, and he doesn't want to get Coffee. He doesn't want to let Coffee set up a tank position. Doesn't want to let that slow siege start happening. He wants to be in control of this game, and he will be pushing Coffee back for the moment.
Yeah, exactly. Once the Lingbane runs out, Dark does turn around. He doesn't want to throw his army away off of creep, but he got all the high-tech units. He reset the tank counts once again. He got a Liberator as well with his Biles, and now he just has to rebuild his Lingbane 3-3 on the way, and he even has Vipers.
Yeah, those Vipers, they're going to make a huge difference if those tank count numbers do start to get back up, but Dark doing such a good job keeping on top of that tank count, and the supplies are really starting to tell a tale now. He's happy to stay on those 80 drones just as he techs and stays on a high Ravager Bane count.
Yeah, exactly. That Ravager count is looking quite fierce indeed. We do have our upgrades finishing up. We do see Coffee is transitioning into Ghost right now, which will help, but the Ghost Academy only just now started, and Dark is now maxed. You're talking about a look at the supply, Papi as Dark. He's coming out, and he is topped up on that Viper energy.
Yeah, Coffee, he's going to be establishing this fourth. He's sending out a bit of a drop as well just to get some pressure on the other side of the map, but Dark, he is not going to give Coffee that much space. He is going to be aggressive from here on out. He does not want to let Coffee establish this fourth base and get into a later game.
Yeah, he really doesn't. But at the same time, Coffee's going for a bit of a triple drop here towards the south. Maybe he can pull Dark back home. Maybe he can force, or he can give himself a little bit more breathing room here as he does dive in, and he's going to be able to get the base here. At the same time, Dark is responding with a portion of his army, but he's still going for a run by at the third.
Yeah, that's right. Dark still having some aggression on the other side of the map. Some nice parasitic bombs there on the medevacs. Nice splits as well, but that is a lot of SCVs going down.
Wow, 26 SCVs go down. The CC is on fire, barely manages to survive as well. I will commend Coffee because he actually sniped 3 Vipers. That was some pretty nice target firing there. But was that really worth more than a mineral line?
Yeah, it does manage to get all of those medevacs out on red health as well. So nice job splitting those when he had so much going on at the same time. But he is, if he wasn't all in before, he is so all in now. Only 48 workers to the 87 of Dark. And he's going to have to start pushing through the center of the map here. But it does look like with the tank count having been reset so many times, he really doesn't have the amount of tanks that he needs to really make this threatening.
Yeah, exactly. Like, sure, he's posturing outside the bases, but he can never really push into creep right now. There's just too much on the ground. Coffee does have a window where he has 3-3 over his opponent, and maybe he can try and make use of that, maybe with some kind of harassment. But at the moment, he just doesn't really have the supply to go for these drops.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And Dark, he has enough Ravages to hold back this push while going for a run by of his own with the Ling Bane. And he has plenty at home to deal with the army. And this run by, this is going to do so much damage. There really aren't enough SCVs here to repair this planetary fortress.
Exactly. Thankfully, we have a couple of reinforcements, but it's not going to be enough. The planetary is going to go down. Coffee will not establish a 4th base. As you were saying earlier, he barely has a 3rd base up and running. He's still making SCVs, so he still believes, mate. He believes there is a way to get back into this. Maybe he can. Maybe, I mean, he's at least going to get this hatchery.
Yeah, he's going to get this hatchery, but Dark, he's done such a good job just expanding all over the map, and this is something that is afforded to the Zerg player on such a big map where you can just really slowly give up the bases that are being attacked by the Terran and expand on the other side of the map, and we just see has hatcheries all over the map here. Coffee is doing everything that he can with these wounded medevacs, but with those parasitic bombs, those will be going down.
Yeah, the power bomb shut down the drops in the end. At the same time, Coffee's going to try and force himself up through the center of the map. Tanks do siege, but they are clumped, and the Biles do connect.
Yeah, beautiful spread coming out from Dark here. He's going to be all over this army with the Biles, with the Baneleys, and this will spell the end for Coffee here in this game 1.
Oh, exactly. Biles even connecting with the Bio Army as well. We see a scan towards the north. Coffee confirming that hatcheries have indeed been taken all across the map. He cannot really contend with the economy of Dark. He still has a small force. He's still got some medevacs. He's still got some drops. He's still got some copium.
Yeah, still got a little bit of copium, but meanwhile for Dark, we saw 76 Lings being started up there. He's just going to be pumping out these Banelings. He has the Ravager that he needs. He's got the Biles that he needs to deal with the tanks if he wants to, but he's just going to absolutely smash Coffee with the Ling Bane here. He doesn't want to sit back. He wants to end this game. He wants to go next, Papi.
Let's go, Papi. Let's go. +3 is going to finish up in 5 seconds, and then Dark can pull that trigger at the same time. I appreciate that Coffee, he's making use of the lack of anti-air. Like, the only anti-air that Dark really has are those parasitic bombs from his Viper. So drops are going to be able to, you know, find some damage at least.
Oh, my goodness.
There
are Banelings everywhere. Dark has turned almost every single Ling into a Baneling. He just wants to go for this victory lap here. This is what Zerg dreams are made of. Going to be rolling 100 Banes straight into the 4th of the Terran, and he can give up this base. Coffee, he is actually getting quite a lot of damage here, but these Lings are eventually going to turn him back, and here come the Banes.
Yeah, here come the Banes. Not going to be the most efficient trade rolling into these tanks, but you know what? He can do whatever the hell he wants. That's how far ahead Dark is. The Banelings do roll in towards that 3rd base. They're going to roll in towards a natural as well. Again, they're not trading efficiently. We have a blinding cloud on the tank.
Mate, that blinding cloud is going to escort these Banelings in, and there is absolutely nothing that can hold all these Banelings of Dark. He doesn't care what he's hitting.
Wow.
He's going to blow up the orbital in the natural, and he goes straight into the main here, throwing all these Banelings into the tank. He doesn't care. He's having fun here.
He really doesn't care. Oh my god. At the same time, we had Lings here at the 4th base. This is actually the lifted main, I just realized, as the Lings just completely eviscerate everything here as well.
Yeah, I can see Dark kind of teetering left to right, like, are you gonna leave?
His eyes. He's like, well, this is awkward. Oh my god.
Maybe Coffee going for a bit of the psychological warfare is going to frustrate Dark and try to get the lead in the second game here. But, mate, Dark's just going pure Baneling. He loves this, I think. He's just going to charge straight through, and GG is finally called.
GG. No react. Rolls his eyes. He's like... Mate, I feel like I just saw Pez versus Chappie is what I just saw. Where Coffee's going for the mental victory, and then Pez, just like against Chappie, Dark's like, hey, what's going on there?
All right. We do see a little bit of Coffee paste in the chat, and I know there's no TTS, so I'm going to do my best.
Oh?
I want Dark's big, hairy, sweaty arms to hold me so tight while he kisses his Valencia trophy like no tomorrow, and I want him to call me my little Zergling. I'm gonna scream back, Park Ryung Woo, Park Ryung Woo. And that's where the copy pasta ends.
As he holds me down and spanks my butt with his hands.
No fear. Straight in there.
Straight in. Mate, there's a reason why we don't pull that on my stream. But oh god. What a showing there in game one by Dark. Solid, powerful play. There were moments there for Coffee, but you were talking about it in that game, right? How these 3cc Banshee openers kind of force you to deal so much damage, but never mind, because in the top left, representing Invictus Gaming, we have Coffee.
Yeah, no room to breathe there, as we do have Dark up 1-0 in this series. It is Dragon Phoenix Gaming's Dark.
Aye. And the pressure was on Coffee there to put that pressure on, to deal that damage to Dark, and unfortunately he wasn't able to pull that off, and Dark got up to 80 plus drones so quickly in game one.
Yeah, that's right. He felt really comfortable once he saw that 3cc Banshee opening, just to pump those drones. So confident in his Queen defense, not really needing to make any Ling Bane there at all, and it's really going to be on Coffee to try to get something done on this map, because DPG 3-0 up against IG now, and if they're going to want to win, they're going to have to take every map from here, so there's a lot of pressure on Coffee to win this one.
Oh yeah, can he pull it off? I believe, Papi. Coffee, he is the ace player of Invictus Gaming. The team rests on his shoulders right now. He's been here before. He can do it again. We talk about the preparation from these players, and coming out on Stargazers, again, a really unorthodox map. You know, there are plenty of advantages to be had here on this map. Will he be crazy enough? Okay, never mind. To make use of the pocket, he will. He's looking to expand at least.
Yeah, meanwhile, we do see a little bit of a cheeky opening from Coffee, just hiding his barracks from the wall. So he's going to put a little bit of that fear into Dark, that he's going for maybe something like a proxy racks. We do also see him going for a Marine first rather than a Reaper.
Oh, yeah, Marine first is on the way. The Overlord is about to rock up towards that ramp and confirm that the Rax is missing. But I'm a little bit shocked that Dark, you don't see this too often at all, but Dark actually chose to start mining from that pocket base, and he's actually taking that as a third.
Yeah, it looks like, has he gone for a gasless opener?
Yeah. That was a very fast third base, mate. Like, oh my god. Or to take it while skipping gas, and I guess he did that because it takes a while to mine those minerals, but like, I haven't seen that before, I'll be honest.
Yeah, very interesting opening coming out here, and I wonder if it is going to be punished, because we do see Coffee is going to be going for some slightly faster Hellions here with that quicker reactor with the Marine first. So he does have the opportunity here maybe to get a little bit of damage, because the Ling speed of Dark is going to be very heavily delayed.
It's going to be insanely delayed. He may just skip it entirely and go straight into Roaches once he has the gas. For now, we do see the Lings just waltz into the main because there was no wall because of that fake proxy racks, and everything gets scouted.
Yeah, those Lings going to get a full scout. Might even be able to get this SCV as well. Nice reactions from Coffee. Is going to be able to pull that back to the Marine, save that SCV's life. But this does also delay getting rid of those minerals, which does delay the landing as well of this orbital.
And the Marine goes down as well. Looks like he wants to kill in that SCV. Can he get it? No, he will not. Ooh, so Coffee will continue to mine out those minerals, but regardless, a really nice cheeky play here from Dark. Also confirmed the 1-1-1, but he does not see what's important. He doesn't see the tech.
Yeah, we just see that fusion core going down, and this is a map that we have been seeing 2 Port BC on a lot. And I do have to worry a little bit for Dark here because he has delayed his tech so much. And we often do see players with these gasless openings going into roaches from here, but he is throwing down his gases now. He is getting those extra queens as well. It's going to be very important for him to try to get some eyes on what's going on across the map.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be all about that queen count at the same time with no Ling's speed. These Hellions opt not to dive in towards that mineral line, only get 3 drones. All 4 Hellions do survive. And I do think that Coffee does recognize the lack of Ling's speed here. Maybe wants to abuse that fact. For now, though, backs off. And Dark just happily drones up.
Yeah, it does look like he's just going to be going for the 1 starport for now as well. Just being very conservative with these Hellions, managing to line up a few of those drones there, but doesn't want to overcommit.
Yeah, doesn't want to overcommit. He's waiting for that Hellion count to get ever higher. Meanwhile, if I'm not mistaken, we don't have a Roach Horn yet from Dark, right? So he's still just working with Slowlings and basically pure Queen to defend. Ooh.
Yeah, Dark definitely going for a little bit of an offbeat opening, not opting to go for any Roach wall off or anything like that, which is something that we do often see with a gasless opening. But he's just going to go for a very late Ling speed and just rely on his Queen control to get this done. But meanwhile, on the side of Coffee, we were talking earlier about his weird and wacky builds, and it looks like he's actually going to be going into a 2-base all-in off of this battle cruiser. Very interesting opening coming out from him, even mining out the minerals at that back base to shorten the path.
Man, he's crazy, Papi. Not just the fact that he's not going into mech from that BC, but just doubling down, throwing down all these Raxes, going for his eBay for a +1 timing, working through those minerals. Very planned, very prepared from Coffee.
Yeah, very interesting. This is a build that I actually saw Aquaron doing in the EU regionals of DreamHack. Meanwhile, this first BC going to be going straight into these queens, and wow, the starter step from Dark is very, very good there, taking out that BC, and that is a huge blow to Coffee. You can see him in the camera. Oh, he is not happy.
No. SMH my head as he loses that BC. Again, he should have expected this. I mean, to be fair, he didn't see that there was no Roach Horn, but because of the lack of Roaches, Dark heavily invested in his queens. He had 10 queens in his main waiting for that BC. He shut it down immediately. And now he's sitting back, he's looking pretty, but will Dark recognize that he is up against a 2-base all-in?
Yeah, if I can try to explain this as well a little bit, that BC going down, that is such a huge deal because this changes what tech that Dark has to go for. Dark really not in such a big rush to go for a Spire anymore. And with this 2-base all-in, what you're hoping for is you're hoping that they're going to react to it like it's mech. You're hoping for a commitment into Corruptors and Roaches, and for you to just run in with this massive 2-base timing and catch them off guard as they're expecting mech. But it looks like Dark is going to get the scout that he needs. He is on a pretty high drone count, so there is going to still be an opening for Coffee, but it is that much harder to get the damage done without that commitment to Aspire.
Yeah, Dark with his positioning of his Overseer right outside the natural. He did see the entire army moving out. We have Banelings on the way, +1 at Baneling speed as well. These upgrades won't finish up in time for this fight, but it is on the way here, and he can make use of it if he survives this initial push.
Yeah, Coffee, he has to send it right now. It is so important for him to deal with these Banelings as well, with the Banelings just getting a slight hit there, but the Lings coming from the back. This was masterfully done by Dark, and he completely cleans up on the front. You can see the frustration from Coffee. He's already, I believe, kind of mulling up whether he wants to GG out or just go for another attack here, but this is desperation mode here.
He knows he's up against the wall right now. He's he's in the wall right now. Oh my god!
Oh my goodness.
The Spore almost going. My god, he almost gets the medevac.
Wait, there are 3 spores here. Dark, he is so well prepared. He is absolutely a wall here on this map. It is so hard for Coffee to get anything done at all. All these queens here always in position, the spores in position. He is so well prepared for this. +1 going to be finishing up soon on the side of the Zerglings as well.
Yeah, those upgrades that we were talking about that weren't ready for the second push, well, they're going to be ready for for the first push. They're going to be ready for the second push instead. We even have an infestation pit on the way to go straight into a hive, to go straight into Adrenal or even Vipers if we need it, as Dark is just getting ready here to receive this wave of Marines. Ling Bane, more of it is on the way.
Yeah, Coffee getting really animated now in the camera. You can see he's really frustrated with how this turned out, because this honestly was a really great strategy for this map, but it relies so much on the trickery, relies so much on that BC sticking around there as well. And Yeah, everything went wrong, but Dark, you got to give credit where credit's due. His defense has been impeccable.
It really has been. He's been able to just completely shut this down before it really got any kind of momentum here. We do see the Marines pushing on forward. There was some nice kind of marine rain being rained down upon those Banelings earlier, so there was really nice kind of micro tricks going on, but there's just not enough numbers here, mate. There's just not enough Marines.
Yeah, GG is called on this one, and Dark, no reaction.
Scratching his head at the end there, like, what's going on? He may not even know.
He's going for the Mario celebration. You know, you see Mario win,
Yeah.
and it's just like, do you need me for anything else?
Can I go to bed now? Can I? Oh my god. GG, well played again. There's a reason why Dark is an A tier player here in WTL. He is one of the titans of this team league. There's a reason why Dragon Phoenix Gaming is considered to be one of the best teams, period, in the world. And it's not just Dark to be afraid of. There's also Cure.
Yeah, DPG, I believe the defending champions coming into this World Team League, and they are coming out on fire here. Haven't dropped a map yet, and it will be Cure looking for the victory lap against XY. Meanwhile, on the side of IG, for the teams lower down in this bracket, it's really important to look for these map wins as they can make the difference in the end. So XY will be looking to at least pick up a map off Cure to give IG just that little bit of a condolence? What's the word?
Consolation?
Consolation prize. Yeah, that's the one.
Consolidating prize.
I consolidated that.
Yeah, you're 100% correct there. When you're one of the like kind of mid-tier to low-tier teams in World Team League, you don't want to get relegated. You don't want to get forced in that position in the next season of WTL, because those relegation matches they can be scary. You know, who knows what kind of duck can rise up and just take you out from that. So yeah, you have to be careful here. And XY, you know, he's a very veteran player. I believe in his TVT.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's going to know exactly who he's going up against in the form of Cure. I'm sure he's got some interesting builds prepared here to try to catch him off guard. And with Invictus already going down here, I'm sure he's going to feel quite free. There's a little bit of pressure off his shoulders in a way. He can really just go for it in this TVT.
Definitely. It's like, okay, you know, it's not like I'm the ace player and we're tied up 2-2 and this is kind of what it all comes down to. Like, no, okay, I can just play out my game. If I get a win, that's going to be amazing. If not, you know, it's no harm, no foul. XY can play it out here. And I can see Rufus, surprisingly, he's coming out for the TVT.
Yeah, loves a bit of TVT. He's like he's too restless when the bugs are on screen.
I see. He's like, yo, the Terrans, they have to beat each other. Let's go. Let's show me a Terran loose.
I want to see some violence.
Aye. So we are just going to be getting ready here for this TVT. Cure, one of the more, I would say, underrated players, just because even though he should be an A tier player, we'll see what the World Team League producers think.
He'll be an A tier player.
He should be, but he is currently in Korea. Historically a little bit overshadowed by, you know, your Maru, your TY, your Innovation, Beyond in his time, even Gumiho in his time. Like Cure kind of has been really fighting to distinguish himself from everyone else.
Yeah, and that can be something that he's fighting for in this set as well, just to kind of show off that he is in a league of his own when it comes to the TVT especially. That is a matchup that historically the Korean Terrans have been very strong in, very competitive in, so this will be his chance to really show off where he's at in the matchup.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he is a GSL champion for a reason, and if a GSL champion doesn't get anything less than an A tier, then we're gonna have a word with WTL admins, okay? Just say.
Yeah, so we will just be looking to get into this one. We do have, of course, those lovely sponsors on stream. We've got the TGO.
Yeah, left to right, we got the shark from Doyu. I believe this is being streamed on Doyu at the moment. At least the Chinese
What's it?
stream.
What's it holding?
It's a mouse.
Oh, I thought it was a football.
It's a mouse, puppy. It's a mouse.
That makes
Um,
sense.
there you go. So we got Doyu, we got Blizzard Entertainment, the publishers of the game itself. We got NetEase. You know all about NetEase. don't
Wait,
you?
I didn't know NetEase did StarCraft stuff actually.
Yeah.
I knew them from Warcraft 3.
Yeah.
So they do the I think they do the networking for Warcraft 3 actually.
True. Yeah. They're a major part of Warcraft 3 and kind of how they operate. So yeah, we got NetEase that's also involved. We got Hojo. It's kind of like Reddit. It's kind of like a WeChat, kind of like Reddit sort of thing, right? Where we can all kind of like come together as a people and talk about, what you want to talk about, StarCraft and the games. We got TGI Fridays. We know all about that as well.
They make chairs.
They they make Ultron chairs, mate. And and of course SC boy, as it looks like we have our players here, and my god.
He's got 10 in mind. That's the first 10 we've seen tonight. He has got ultimate mindset.
He's got the biggest mind ever forged. Period. In life.
But a 5 in micro. I remember this actually from when they faced off against the Ducklings. They'd done him dirty with the straight line.
Feels bad, man. Feels bad. Meanwhile, show us what?
Oh.
B. Oh, I was worried about this. Come on. Really?
Yeah. They hate Terrans.
He's got 9s all over the place and he's a B?
Mate, he's a GSL champion.
He is actually a GSL champion.
Ay.
Well, here we go. Cure coming out here to prove to the people that he is A tier at least. He's an amazing player. Again, this is what I was talking about. Like, I do think that, like, when it comes to like more mainstream people, like I do think that he is overlooked a little bit at times amongst the other Terran players out there.
I mean, at the same time, his hexagon is full of 9s as well. So they obviously are aware of his strengths as well.
We're getting mixed signals here.
Yeah. Anyway, we
God.
do have our first map. It is going to be Stargazers. This is a map that's pretty often vetoed by Terrans just because they don't practice on it that much in general. It's not that great for the other matchups. But in TVT, this will lend to a very exciting game as here we have spawning in the top left-hand corner for IG. It is XY.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Stargazers representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming DPG. It's the B tier player, Cure. Shaking my head.
So this map is one where we do often see some more drop-based play just because of the layout of the map, but it looks like XY, he doesn't want to get into any game like that. He's going straight for the proxy racks.
Oh yeah, let's go. Gonna be not just proxying his racks, as he's also gonna be giving a bit of a shout out to the sponsors at the same time.
Right on top of that World Team League logo, it goes that second racks. So this will be a 2 racks Reaper coming out from XY. Pretty interesting. I have to wonder if he was anticipating a fast expand coming out from Cure, but Cure actually going for a double gas opening here.
Yeah, double gas opener instead, so going to be prioritizing a little bit more his tech, his production, less so that CC. So Cure is going to be a little bit safer against this, as he is going to be sending his SCV across the map to scout and confirm whether or not there is a Rax.
Yeah, I definitely understand the idea behind this opening for XY. We have been seeing a lot of fast expands on this map just because of that back base, meaning that you don't have to defend as many areas. But at the same time, Cure just kind of playing it safe, knowing that he is the favorite in this one, is even going to be SCV scouting, which is not always necessary with the build that he's going for. Just trying to be extra safe though.
Yeah, just trying to be extra safe, and it's going to be paying off here, confirming that there is no Rax here in the main base. Could be a pseudo proxy, but again, he's just going to be confirming here, waiting here, looking for any other kind of tech being thrown down. Oh, as the Reaper count is going to be banking up for XY, waiting for that second Reaper before he really shows his hand.
Yeah, meanwhile, on the side of Cure, he is starting up that Marine, so he knows this is a proxy 2-Axe Reaper, and he will be set up on that ramp, ready to defend. Meanwhile, did we see, was that an SCV that went down?
Did Cure? I think Cure just killed an SCV.
I don't know.
Oh, he's crazy, puppy. At the same time, it looks like here we go. We do have a defense. He does lose an SCV on his side as well. Boys are being pulled to tank for the Marine and the Reaper of Cure. He is down in that Reaper count. Oh, and he's going to be losing a number of workers.
Yeah, Cure pulling plenty of SCVs here. I think those Reapers are actually trapped, but Cure is going to be playing it safe with his own Reapers. It does look like he is actually going to corner these Reapers, and that is disastrous for XY.
Oh, exactly. He needs to get the hell out of here, but no, he will not. Both Reapers go down. He does trade 2 Reapers for 5 workers at least, and because of that, he's able to maintain a worker lead. Takes down the scouting SCV as well. Gets his revenge on his fallen brethren.
Yeah, that's right. But there is so much of this, so much of the momentum of this push has been taken out by losing those Reapers, and Cure, he's comfortable to just send these Hellions straight across the map, and XY, he's going to have nothing at home to deal with this. They're not going to be able to get in because of the wall off, but they're going to be very annoying to deal with as they pick away at that depot.
Oh my god, as we do see a couple of lifted buildings, but thankfully, okay, we do have XY here with the full wall of the Reaper does slip into the main base, and as you said, there is nothing here to defend other than SCVs.
Yeah, even this one Reaper going to be such a nuisance. Going to get full scouting as well. Going to check for any starport, anything like that. Meanwhile, for XY, going to be jumping into this main. And it does look like Cure a little bit skimp on the defenses there, but XY going to be respecting that.
Yeah, XY, he doesn't dive in, he doesn't commit, as he does recognize the amount of Marines and Hellions to defend. Looks like that Reaper is going to be able to get a little bit more damage, and the main base finally gets cleaned up by that defensive Cyclone. Oh boy, but yeah, I'm sure XY wanted to deal a little bit more damage with this proxy 2-Axe.
Yeah, that's right. We see a very clean transition coming out from Kyo, going for that 1-1-1 before that second CC. So looking to get a little bit of aggression of his own on the other side of the map, delaying that CC very slightly. XY going to be jumping up here, taking out one of those SCVs. Nice job making the most of these units here.
Yeah, going to be able to delay the CC of Cure as well. So XY is going to be fighting back here. Is going to be as much of a nuisance as possible in the side of Cure. But I'm also curious as to, okay, XY, I was like, does he have his own CC on the way? He thankfully does. It looks like he is looking to also take his own natural.
Yeah, that CC of XY just very, very slightly ahead of that of Cure's. But meanwhile for Cure, we are seeing a very significant lead in the tech units. Already started on his second Raven, and that's something that is very important in TVT.
Yeah, the Raven count is insane. Making use of those disables, making use of those auto turrets, so much becomes available to you here with these Ravens. And yeah, Cure, I'm sure he's going to be hitting a pretty strong timing once he gets his second one out. I say that, he moves out already here a little bit this first.
Yeah, meanwhile for XY, he is very aware of how far behind he is. He is starting up an extra 2 rack, starting up that eBay as well. So we are going to be seeing some 2-base play coming out of him. He does not want to let this one go too much further.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like he's going to be looking to at least hope hit a timing here where maybe Cure's being a little bit too greedy. Maybe Cure tries to establish a third base and invest in his economy instead, whereas he should be focusing on his army. So we shall see as Cure even starts production here on these Vikings.
Yeah, with those 2 Ravens, he's happy to get that switch going, get the Ravens going, the Vikings going. We should be seeing Stim getting started up pretty soon here as well, going into a third base after that. So very standard game coming out from Cure here, and he's going to start to move across the map and put on a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to rock up here towards the natural base. He does scan ahead of time just to confirm the tank positioning, just to see if he has a way in, because again, even if there are tanks, he has Ravens to disable them.
Yeah, there is a lot of energy on these Ravens. He's going to be able to come in straight into the natural here, and XY forced to fool the boys. Thinks better of it, trying to skirmish here with the Cyclones as well, but with this siege in position, he's in a terrible spot here.
Yeah, exactly. The first tank goes down, the second tank goes down as well. They were both disabled. Now with the help of the Vikings, the one Raven that pops out goes down. GG gets called, and Cure shuts down the proxy and just takes the first game.
Yeah, a little bit of a hint of a wry smile there from Cure, but that is the most we're going to get out from him. These players are really looking to breeze through this last couple games, and very strong performance coming out from Cure there.
Yeah, you know what? that smile was probably him thinking, They really did me dirty and put me as a B tier player. Who are these clowns, man? Let's go. Let's prove them wrong as he takes that first game. And can we see a clean sweep 6-0 here from DPG?
I love that little, like, the anime monologue coming out from Cure. It's like, they really think I'm a B tier player. Those fools.
I'll show them with my signature double Raven push.
They'll see my true power level. 10 out of 10 offense.
Look, I'm just saying, a pro gamer in esport anime would be amazing. Is that not a thing? Can we make that a thing?
There was like there's a graphic novel on Steam, I think, of like a StarCraft pro player. I never actually looked at what it was, but
yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be kind of cool. They could do like a little World Team League spin-off thing where they have like following Cure through on his path to become an S tier player.
Mate, I can't believe because I recognize what you're talking about. You haven't played the StarCraft visual novel?
No.
Oh my, mate, that is some stream content for you right there, buddy.
Okay, I'll think about it.
Just saying. As we're getting into game number 2, it looks like the map of choice is going to be Moondance in the top left. Invictus Gaming XY.
Right, and here in the bottom right-hand corner, looking to get the clean sweep for his team, it is DPG's Cure.
Yeah, exactly. There's actually a sequel because the first one was kickstarted, I believe. And they did make a sequel prequel, as the first one is StarCraft 2 and the sequel is based in Brood War.
Oh.
I just say there's some really good StarCraft history and lore there when it comes to the esports scene. If you're interested. It's pretty good.
Yeah, check it out. I'll have a look.
Very nostalgic.
All right, as we see a very standard game coming out from both players. Here we are going to see the double gas opening on both sides. XY not really wanting to go for that double Reaper once again. Didn't really work out too well for him in the first game. And we are going to see Cure once again going for that early SCV scout.
Oh, yeah, the SCV is going to be moving out across the map once again to get eyes on whether or not the Rax is at home or somewhere on the map. You could argue, is this a little bit inefficient? XY is going to be mining a little bit more, sure, but, Cure, he knows that he's kind of the favorite. He knows that he has to be the one playing a little bit safer.
Yeah, that's right. And he will scout the Rax at home. There is that wall off there, so he is a little bit in the dark, but XY doesn't really mind him seeing that factory. He's going to make it right in vision there. And I have to wonder, with him making it so close to the Rax, if he does have a little bit of an add-on swap planned.
Oh, yeah, I imagine so. We'll see what the plan is going to be here for XY, as our openers are pretty mirrored here outside of the building placements. And there we go. We do have reactors thrown down for both of our players.
Yeah, both players going for the reactors here. This is something that we've been seeing a lot more in TVT on the smaller maps, where we see the players going for the 5 Reaper, 3 Hellion. The reason for that is it does get across a little bit faster, and that does mean that sometimes you can get a few more volleys in before the Cyclones of a standard build come out.
Yeah, and we'll see how many volleys we get once our players do get their Hellions and the rest of their units out here, as so far, again, pretty mirrored builds overall. Both players keeping up with each other.
Yeah, that's right. Both players going to be pumping out the Reapers and Hellions. If one can get eyes on the other's build, we might see them cut short that Reaper Hellion a little bit early, but it looks like both of them just going to start to mess up the Reapers and Hellions. We have seen some players recently going for a medevac with this as well, so it'll be interesting to see if either of them do go for that, but it does look like, yeah, totally mirrored so far.
Yeah, they just keep keeping up with each other. Also, pretty interesting, I think both Dark and Cure, they've got green screens going on.
Oh yeah, nice. We don't get to see their house.
Yeah, we don't get to see their beds. Yeah.
Their bedges.
They want to hide how unkept or kept their beds are.
Are you calling me out here?
Wait, what do you mean? What do you think I'm trying to say? Sure. What do you think I'm trying to say?
Yeah, Yeah, meanwhile, we just see a little bit of a divergence here. Cure is going to be going for some extra Reapers and Hellions. Meanwhile, XY cutting those short a little bit. Going to be going for a tank drop behind this, actually. So, yeah, it does look like XY had something a little bit spicy in store, but Cure is going to be the aggressor here.
Yeah, exactly. Before that spiciness can really kick in, Cure is here at the natural. How good are these Hellion volleys going to be?
Ooh.
How much will these units clump up?
Yeah, a little bit of a late reaction there from XY. He's going to be losing a few of those units there. Does catch this rotation as well, though. Very nicely done, anticipating this move coming out from Cure, but the micro from Cure is good. Really nice grenades there.
Yeah, the KDA charges do go off there, bouncing off those units. In the end, XY is going to be able to hold on. At least his tank is revealed here to Cure. And I believe he saw the medevac when he did get into the main as well.
Yeah, that's right. He will be aware of that, and more importantly, he does delay that push. So with the push being delayed so much, XY can't really go for that drop with the tank. He's going to instead opt to drop the Marines and the Hellion. But meanwhile, behind this, XY actually going to be going for a very aggressive play, skipping his Ravens altogether to go straight into the Vikings. But Cure, he's doing the same.
Oh, he's crazy, puppy. We see the mirrored builds once again. Obviously, a little bit of a difference getting here to this point. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Cure does have a Raven advantage, if I'm not wrong, because we saw the medevac instead from XY.
He does have one Raven. I think, yeah, he must have seen a reactor on the starport with his Reapers or something like that, because it is very unusual to not go for the 2 Reapers in this matchup.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
2 Ravens, sorry.
Yeah, no Ravens there. Meanwhile, we do see the Vikings running into each other. 3 tanks are going to try and push out across the map. Meanwhile, I believe that drop may have been dealt with. If it did, that was a full drop full of units, mate.
Yeah, and Cure, he's gotten into this natural a lot faster than XY has, and he has a lot more DPS in the army as well. Even getting on top of that tank in the main, and XY is just not going to be able to deal with this army of Cure.
I think this is just confirmation that that medevac did go down as it was disabled. It was locked on by that cyclone, and now there is nothing back at home to defend. Cure is breaking into the main base. He's getting on top of the production. At the same time, XY, his 3 tanks, sure, they're getting some work done, but it looks like they got surrounded by SCVs. It looks like they went down.
Yeah, everything going down for XY here. Meanwhile, on his side of the map, losing almost every SCV to the attack of Cure, down to only 12 SCVs, and he will be able to take out that last tank, but he's just taking too much damage here. GG, and a 6-0 for DPG.
GG, well played. Dragon Phoenix Gaming looking powerful here in round 2 in week 2 of World Team League. There's a reason why they are the defending champions. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, they are some of the best, if not the best.
Yeah, great performance out of DPG, and they will deny any sort of upset there, but what a nice day of games that we've had today. And I want to say very exciting first set as well, with Team GP taking the upset 4-2 over Shopify Rebellion.
Oh, that first series was beautiful. I know that there are people tuning in on the tail end of this broadcast, but check out the VODs. Shopify Rebellion versus Team GP was crazy. It was crazy how back and forth it was, how prepared these Team GP players were. They all came in with their own styles, with their own unique builds. And that's the power of this best of 2 format, mate. You only need to take one to take out a player, to put a point on the board, and Cham was really, I would say, kind of the star player of tonight.
Yeah, Cham, absolutely MVP for tonight's games, doing such a good job. But meanwhile, we do have our next matches coming up this time tomorrow. First up will be the Starving Camels against Psystorm, and Group B, it is Onside versus the CranKy Ducklings.
Let's go! Tomorrow we'll be going up against another one of those incredibly strong teams. Onside Gaming has an insane lineup, but we are going to be coming out strong here as well. So be sure you're here tomorrow for another exciting day of World Team League.
Yeah, it is the Crank vs. Crank showdown. You do not want to miss it.
Exactly. With that, thank you so much everyone for tuning in. We had a wild day of StarCraft. Check out those VODs. Shout out to Team GP and to DPG. And with that, I was gonna close this out, but Asher, where can people find more of you? Where can they find your lovely StarCraft visual novel stream?
Copium. You can find me on twitch.tv/AsherBro. We'll be streaming from time to time when I can find the time. A little bit of Terran gameplay over there. And where can they find you, Mr. Light VOP?
Light VIP on Twitch and Twitter. I stream throughout the week. I was streaming just before this broadcast as well, just merging on the ladder, trying to be a Zerg player, trying to survive and failing horribly. No, I just had a lot of ZBZs today. Shit, feels bad, man. I don't. I just want to. Yeah.
If you're a budding sniper out there, don't snipe Light. Please don't.
Please don't snipe me. I would appreciate some more variety in my games. But yeah, we try and stream on a daily basis. We'll be streaming tomorrow as well. Asher, do you know when you'll be streaming next? Do you know?
It's gonna be hard to find time before Saturday, I think. But
okay.
if I'm feeling it, I'll go live.
Okay, fair enough. Keep an eye out on Asher's Twitch channel. He's also a really great streamer. He has great chat interaction as well. And he's got some pretty good music. It's all right. It's okay. Yeah. Not quite the salsa that I'm used to.
I don't want strong praise from you, to be honest.
It's not bad, Papi. It's not bad. So with that, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you so much for the support. The next CranKy Ducklings broadcast will be tomorrow for World Team League. Be sure you're there to cheer on the Ducklings.
Yeah, always love to see the CranKy Ducklings performing in the World Team League. So hyped to have them in Code S, and we're really going to be hyping them up with an incredibly biased commentary.
Incredibly biased. Shout out to Kuro here for handling the production. Thank you, Kuro, in the chat. Redeem those points. And with that, we will see you guys tomorrow for some more StarCraft action. Ciao.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.